Hey, let me talk to you like someone who used to settle for middling sound because it wasn't worth the hassle, until I finally heard what real clarity feels like. Monitor XT20. This is for the kind of person who notices when audio feels flat, who's watched movies and played games wishing the sound matched what's on screen, who feels when something's missing but hasn't pulled the trigger yet. Before you go any deeper, take a moment to check the current price and availability. Speakers this capable and flexible don't hang around once people start upgrading. You knew it was time to upgrade when your existing setup made every dialogue track muddy, every explosion flat, every music cue lifeless. You turned the volume up and hoped that would fix it, but it never did. That moment, when you silently admit your gear isn't keeping up with what you want to feel, that's the sign you've moved past compromise. And the first time these speakers filled the room? It wasn't about being louder, it was about defined sound. Highs were crisp without harshness, mids were natural, lows were controlled. Suddenly, the way sound unfolded around me made sense instead of just being there. That feeling of presence, where you're not chasing clarity with the remote anymore, you'll notice it instantly. Imagine settling in for movie night and finally hearing footsteps and effects where they belong, not smeared across the soundstage. Picture your favorite tracks coming alive with texture and detail you didn't know were there. Even gaming feels more intentional when cues feel laid out with dimension and purpose, not buried under haze. While you're picturing that, go check availability again. Waiting usually means weird price shifts or configurations disappearing, and that hesitation now can easily turn into regret later when you remember what you heard in your mind. If part of you wonders whether bookshelf speakers really matter, let me reframe that at a deeper level. This isn't just about higher numbers on a spec sheet, it's about sound that finally matches your expectations. Once you've lived with true clarity and defined staging, anything weaker starts to feel like a compromise you used to tolerate instead of an experience you actually want. There's also something people don't always talk about: you start to trust your audio again. You hit play on something new and you lean into it instead of adjusting volume or settings mid-scene. You don't fight your speakers, you enjoy them. That shift from frustration to effortless listening is subtle at first, then unmistakable. You feel detail you didn't expect. You hear dialogue clearly. You relax into the full mix. You stop chasing better sound. You feel proud of how it performs. The only real downsides are that older gear feels painfully weak afterward, and once you've heard how dimensional this sounds, anything less feels noticeably flatter than you remember. At some point, comparisons stop being useful. You already know what a good listening experience feels like in your head. Don't make this the upgrade you put off and then regret every time a big scene falls flat. If you're ready to hear your media the way it deserves to be heard, check the pricing and make this pair yours now. The moment sound finally feels right in your space, you'll know exactly why it mattered.